I mean, like, did you feel better?
He did it for 10 sessions. It didn't help him.
I mean, I suppose they're saying you need to do minimum like 10 sessions, but 30 or 40 is better.
It's a lot of money.
I know it's $100.
I looked it up online. You can buy the whole thing.
Right, for like 5,000.
No, like 12,000. 700. 7.
Sorry about that.
No, it's
No.
like a
You
tank
just sit down and
with like oxygen and they
Mike limping here and a raise from Gall.
What you really need is oxygen in your fucking
It helps
brain.
for like a lot of
That's
your
what it
brains.
does. No,
It
seriously,
enhances
that's what it
like
does.
a lot of stuff in your brain. 700.
Do you have idea
Here is
why
3,700.
cost that way?
And James wakes up with aces, so could he get his revenge here with pocket aces again?
37.
-7. I hope you can do the math.
And again, he's going to play a big pot against Gall. Who just calls. They're very deep. Nine, 5 deuce on the flop. 2 clubs out there. Neither player has one. And a big c-bet here from James. Gall calls. Eight on the turn. 2 flush draws out there. A very small bet from James. Not sure if he's trying to block or induce. Nine on the river. And another $6,000 bet. And Gall knows this isn't a great spot, but pays it off anyway, getting a great price. $6,000 to win $44,000. Not going to work out for him this time, though. As James wins a $44,000 pot with aces against Gall's pocket queens.
That probably would have been a really bad idea. You buy.
I mean, I don't know about the minimum, but
The one time the queen didn't hold up well.
Okay, we're even go.
we're very far from even. It's
Actually,
2-1. It's 2-1 to you.
You're probably pretty lucky that you had that hand in position against him, because if you were out of position, it would have cost you more money.
You're right.
If you would have, if James had position on you, that hand would have cost you more money.
Would it?
It was a good. It was
You
a
would have
good
made
meal.
more
It
money
was a good meal
if you had
session.
position on him with that hand. Because there's no way,
You good, you said?
And now Gall wakes up with kings.
no way he's not losing more if he had position on him.
So runs queens into aces, but now has pocket kings. And just flats. And James has queens. So aces against queens, just one hand to go. And he's going to slow play the queens.
What did I say then?
And now it's back around to Gall. There's still 5 people in this hand. And Gall puts in the 3-bet.
Rashi Vidai asked yarı roundu. Hiç terk etmiyor. Yere yankam bekleyelim.
Both players have played this hand so slowly so far. Gall just limping, and then James just calling the raise to 1100. Garrett calls the 3-bet with 6s. Still 4 players in there, and is James now going to put in another raise? No, just a call. And that should bring Eric along as well. So 4 ways and already almost $25,000 in this pot.
4 players.
953. Pocket King's still good.
Ima, mucho negro.
Love it, love it. Love it, yeah. For sure.
18,000.
A huge bet from Gall. 3/4 pot into 3 other players. $18,000. He's saying he's going to go with this hand. Garrett calls with pocket 6s. Wow, I wasn't expecting that. And James's hand is so strong, but he has to be wondering what in the world is going on in this hand. It feels so gross to consider folding at this point. But he's going to be in a pretty gross spot if he calls and Gall shoves the river, or excuse me, the turn. He folds. And he's right. So somehow Gall gets a call from pocket 6s, but a fold from pocket queens. Ace of clubs on the turn. Neither player loves that card, although Gall has the king of clubs in his hand. And just goes ahead and jams. Doesn't have a ton back. So now Garrett wants to count with pocket 6s with no club in his hand. I'm not really sure what he can beat at this point. Can't even beat ace king.
It's like 27-7. Assuming those are 20 stacks, right?
Yeah. 27.
Just under 28.
Garrett and Gall, of course, have played tons and tons of poker together, and there has to be so much dynamic going into a spot like this for Garrett to consider playing such a big pot with such a weak hand. He does finally let it go, and Gall wins an $88,000 pot. Pocket queens, or excuse me, pocket kings, getting his revenge after having pocket queens just the previous hand and running it into aces.
Just good enough. Just good enough for this.
Aces here for James. And king queen suited for Mike. Couple of big hands, just a call.
$200 more than me or 400? 400. I fold. Shit.
Well, for you, we get
Call from Gall as well. 2,200
Even Gall
in this
would
pot.
be
It's a straddle pot.
What are you trying to say?
I said what I said. That's what I said.
And a straight for Gall. This is the kind of board that James has got to know is not very good for him, especially 3 ways.
I know.
Mike with a gutter to the nuts as well. James bets. And I don't think that's unreasonable, but I would consider checking in that spot as well.
It's not there.
That's good.
These are subscription. My eyes got old.
Now Gall raises it up, and
I can't wear them because
Oh, this
they're prescription.
James is in
There's some shit to see if they're prescription.
a weird spot. He and Gall are deep.
10 seconds.
Hey, when you get these glasses, prescription glasses, right?
This is why
Yeah.
I think you should consider checking on the flop if you're James, so you don't wind up in this spot. Latest episode of the Thinking Poker podcast, Andrew Brokus talks about exactly these kinds of scenarios with pocket aces on boards like 10-9-8, 9-8-7. Where you should be very careful betting if you're not sure what you're going to do if you get raised. Mike folds.
Heads up.
6 on the turn. So now a one-liner to a 7. This might prevent James from getting in too much more trouble. Check, check. Gall wanting to protect his flop 2 pairs with that check there. Now another 6 on the turn, so James beats all the 10-9s and 9-8s. Still can't beat a straight though.
You know what'd be cool is if that's built into the table.
Can't beat pocket 8s, pocket 9s.
Say 10 seconds. Okay, that's players. Well, I gotta be able to see first. Just like how that's built in, but I've really built it now, right?
Gall might 3-bet those pre-flop
It's players' responsibility.
in these positions. Tough spot, and James does pay it off here. Was able to make a really good fold last week with pocket aces.
Oh, this got you action.
This time,
Wow, this got you action.
can't find the fold against Gall.
Good hand.
Hard to blame him, really.
Okay.